deep work. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Shower Podcast, episode 278, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and today is the second and final episode of our weekend drops, the shorter edition of the Shower Podcast, where I leave you with one sharp idea to think about in the weekend. Today's thought: in a world where everyone's multitasking, rushing, and scrolling, deep work actually still works. Before we start, as usual, if you end up liking this episode, remember that liking and subscribing really mean a lot for me. They're just one click, but they really, really, really make the difference. Thank you very much for considering it. Multitasking feels efficient, but research from Stanford shows that people who juggle multiple streams of information actually perform worse on memory and attention tasks. The brain switches back and forth. It never truly does two things at once. That's why, even in the age of fast content, deep, focused work is still one of the biggest advantages you can have. In his book, Deep Work, Cal Newport argues that the ability to focus without distraction is like a superpower in the 21st century. And the data backs it up. A Microsoft study found that the average attention span online dropped from 12 seconds in 2000 to just 8 seconds in 2015, about the level of a goldfish. And I'm afraid that as of today, in 2025, things are even worse. Yet companies consistently report that their highest performers are the ones able to sustain long, focused effort. This is the paradox. While attention spans shrink, the value of long attention increases. If you can carve out focus in a distracted world, you stand out. Why does deep work feel so different? Neuroscientists explain it through dopamine regulation. Every time you switch tasks, scroll, check email, glance at a notification, your brain gives you a quick dopamine hit. It feels good, but it's shallow. Deep work works on a slower, more rewarding loop. When you spend 60 to 90 minutes fully immersed, the brain drops into what psychologists call flow state. Flow isn't just about feeling good. It's directly tied to higher creativity, learning, and long-term satisfaction. That's why finishing 3 hours of deep work leaves you energized, while 3 hours of doom scrolling leaves you drained. Here's the irony. People sometimes say deep work doesn't fit today's world. Too many pings, too many noise, and that's exactly why it works. When most people can sit still for 10 minutes without checking their phone, your ability to focus for an hour is rare, and rare skills are valuable. It's like a hidden advantage in plain sight. Writers, engineers, designers, even athletes. The breakthroughs usually come not from fragments of distracted effort, but from long, undisturbed stretches. In other words, while the world gets noisier, the signal of your deep work only gets clearer. So, here's your weekend drop challenge. Pick one task this weekend and give it your full, undivided attention for 60 minutes. No notification, no background noise, just you and the task. Notice how it feels heavier compared to your usual distracted rhythm. You might be surprised, though, at the quality and even the enjoyment that shows up when you stop splitting your attention. Deep work still works, maybe more than ever, because it's becoming so rare. Protect your focus, and it will protect your progress. That was all for today. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed the second part or second episode of the Weekend Drop. This was all for this week, and as I promised you at the start of this week, I hope that we will be back to a more regular routine of the Shower Podcast now that I'll be fully back home. Having said that, that was all. I've said it again, but as usual, stay consistent, stay resilient. This was the Shower Podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow.